Hi, it's Miss Burke from Langston Hughes, your AVID coordinator again. I'm here to let you in on a little secret today. That's right. Between me and you, I've got a deal for you. What would you say if I said that I could increase your score on tests and quizzes? And it's not by cramming for 2 to 3 hours the night before. What? There's another way? Yes, there is, guys, and I'm here to tell you about it today. Today, I am here to bring you a 5-step system that will bring you closer to better grades and increase your scores in school. Yes, that's right, folks, 5 steps. You're thinking, 5 steps? Well, that's got to be at least like 2 to 3 hours, just like cramming. Why would I do it? No, guys, it's only 5 steps, and each step is only 5 to 10 minutes. You just have to do it over 5 different days. Wouldn't you rather just spend 5 to 10 minutes working on it instead of cramming for 2 to 3 hours? Even if you cram, you might only remember 20 to 30% of what was on those notes. 20 to 30% is not a passing grade, but 80% is, and I'm here to tell you with my 5-step process today how you can get closer to passing that test or quiz. Now, this isn't my process. This is a step from AVID, and we call it our focused note-taking system. So I'm here today to show you the 5 steps to the focused note-taking system. So if you look in your DAB on page 8, in the very beginning, you can find this lovely chart that says AVID Focus Notes, a strategy that will help you remember up to 80% of what is on your notes. Do one step every night. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to do each step. Commit to doing these steps nightly, and you will never have to cram again. So our 5 steps that I'm going to be going through today are taking notes, processing notes, connecting thinking, summarizing and reflecting on learning, and applying learning. Let's go. So for my example today, I've literally printed off something from the internet on World War II from like Encyclopedia Britannica. World War II will be covered in 7th grade history, so that's why I chose it. Let's imagine that your teacher, you walk in and they give you this set of notes, but let's say it has some blanks in there so that you can fill in, specific words, vocabulary words. And so now you've got this big, overwhelming text and you need to study it. How can we make this easier, you say? Remember my 5 steps. Step 1 is easy. Take the notes. You take them in school. Or if you are learning online now, you're taking them in your synchronous class, or maybe your teachers provided them to you just like I have. So step 1, take the notes, get the notes. Step 2, we process and mark up our notes. So you'll see I've already started with my introduction. I used my handy dandy highlighter. Now, if you're like me, you like some cool pens. Check out what my highlighter can do. Yup. I can erase it. How cool is that? It's awesome. Okay, so let's get more into marking up. So I did some highlighting. That's one sample. Keep in mind, this is not a coloring contest, folks. It is not about trying to color the whole thing. That's not how this works. What you want to do is find the specific information. You don't even have to highlight a whole sentence. I just highlighted Axis powers, Germany, Italy, Japan. Allies, France, Great Britain, the United States, and the Soviet Union, and to a lesser extent, China. World War II, bloodiest conflict, largest war. I'm just getting details so that my eye can look at this paper and go, ooh, there's the information I need. So highlighting is one way you can mark something up. Another way would be to add to the notes. An example of adding to the notes would be like right here, German dictator Adolf Hitler. Now, it doesn't really say anything about the Nazi party, but maybe I want to add the notes that he's the Nazi party leader. Not a good guy. Maybe I even want to add a little picture of him because he had that weird mustache. Weird short mustache. He's a mean guy. Bad dude. Okay, so maybe I want to add some pictures. Maybe I want to add some words. Okay, I've already got titles and headings and subheadings to help break up my information, which is great. If you don't have headings or subheadings, you want to do something called chunking. Chunking means breaking it up. Now right here, you notice I used my pink pen. I drew a line. I've got my heading and my subheading. And if I keep going, there's another subheading. And no more subheadings. Another subheading. So that's a lot. So maybe I want to break this up by the different subheadings. So at the next, I'm going to draw another line, and maybe I'll switch colors. Okay, so if I go back through here, let's see if there's anything else I can add. Okay, so I'm seeing the word secret kind of pop up here. He tried to make a secret deal so that he could attack Poland. So maybe I want to kind of circle or highlight that it was secret negotiations. So then I'm going to keep going in this section. Right here, it says, finally, Hitler ordered hostilities. The invasion began as ordered, and World War II had begun. So this is a big deal. World War II has begun. So I know that this was the starting point. So maybe I want to put starting point for World War II. That's a big point. All right, now we're on to step 3. Let's just pretend I've marked up my whole notes. Step 3, connect and write questions. So step 3, remember, these should all be done on separate nights. If you take the notes in class, you should mark them up that night at home. Then step 3, you should come back the next night and connect and write questions about what you learned. The whole point in coming back multiple times, that's how you remember. And you have to interact with the notes. You can't just watch the Super Bowl and expect to be the next great quarterback. You have to practice. So instead of just looking at your notes and somehow expecting all those words to just fly into your head, you have to connect. You have to interact with it. You have to practice and talk to them and hope they don't talk back to you. So let's talk about how we can connect and write questions with this part that we've looked at so far. So if I come back to here, maybe I want to use a different color. So connect and write questions. So, I don't really have a column to write questions, but I can still write them on the side. So I'm going to put over here, what were the outcomes of World War II? Now you'll notice this question can be answered right here. So I want to put the question next to where I can check it, because here's what I want to do. I want to be able to cover up my notes and quiz myself with these questions. So I can quiz myself, what were the outcomes of World War II? I remember it was something about power, a shift in power. What was it? Oh, shift in power away from Western Europe and towards the US and Soviet Union. Okay, so maybe this question could be, why did they have secret negotiations? And that's answered in here. He wanted to invade them anyway, but he wanted to make sure that no one else was going to stand up to him. Then on the back, my question could be, what started World War II? And my question, I can follow it over and get the answer right over here. All right, step 4, summarize and reflect. So if you've read all your notes, you've come back multiple days, you took the notes that day in class, you came home and you marked them up. The next day you came home and you connected and you wrote questions. Then the next day you summarize and reflect on what you've learned. So you should make some room on another piece of paper or at the bottom. There's some nice blank space here. Maybe I could write a summary of what I learned. Ta-da! Summary just instantly appears. So I only wrote a summary of what we've talked about so far, but I summarized in my own words what World War II is and what I learned through my notes. So then step 5 is to apply your knowledge, meaning take it with you. You don't need to do anything else. You now remember up to 80% of what you learned. So let's review. What were our steps, you say? We had step 1, take the notes. Step 2, process and mark up your notes. Step 3, connect and write questions. Step 4, summarize and reflect. And step 5, apply your knowledge. That knowledge could be applied on a quiz, could be applied on a test. You could apply it on a project. You could apply your knowledge on a presentation. Heck, you could share your knowledge with your family. You could post it on social media. You could share it with the world. You will conquer the world if you use my 5-step process that takes 5 to 10 minutes a day. Coming back to your notes is key. You've got to come back multiple times to get the benefit of my 5-step system. I hope you have learned something new today. Thanks for watching.